Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're diving into something that I think we're all pretty familiar with, our smartphones, but with a bit of a futuristic twist.
Oh,
Yeah, so you've all sent in some really interesting articles about what our smartphones might be like in the future. And let me tell you,
okay.
this isn't just about slightly better cameras or faster processors. We're talking about some seriously big changes.
Yeah.
Changes that could fundamentally change how we live, work, interact with the world, all that.
Wow. Okay, I'm intrigued.
Yeah, so I was skimming through these articles and I saw some stuff about emotion sensing phones.
Oh, wow.
And blurring the lines between the real world and the digital world through augmented reality. It's pretty wild stuff.
Okay, yeah, I'm starting to see why you called me in for this one. Sounds going to be a fascinating deep dive.
Oh, absolutely. And that's why I'm so glad you're here. You always do such a great job of connecting the dots and explaining what all this tech jargon actually means for, everyday people.
Well, I appreciate that. I'll do my best.
Okay, so this first article we're looking at, it kind of lays out the major trends that are converging right now.
Okay.
And they keep mentioning things like AI, immersive experiences, and crazy fast internet speeds. But to be honest, it's a little overwhelming.
Yeah, I can imagine. It's a lot to unpack.
It really is. So I guess my first question is where do we even begin with all of this?
I think it's helpful to remember that these things aren't totally new concepts. We're already interacting with AI to some extent.
Yeah, that's true.
Through voice assistants and stuff.
Yeah, right.
And we've got immersive entertainment, think VR gaming, 3D movies, that kind of thing. And of course, we're all pretty reliant on fast internet connections these days.
Yeah, for sure.
But what's changing is the scale, the sophistication. These technologies are being pushed to a whole new level.
Okay, that makes sense. So it's not about inventing something completely new. It's about taking what we already have and supercharging it.
Exactly. Yeah. Take AI, for example.
Yeah.
Right now, we're used to giving our voice assistants pretty basic commands. Set a timer, play some music.
Mm-hmm.
But now imagine an AI that learns your habits, understands your preferences, anticipates your needs. It's like having a digital partner who's always one step ahead.
Okay, so that does sound like a pretty big leap. I mean, if my phone could remind me to pick up milk on the way home from work because it knows I'm running low,
Right.
that'd be pretty awesome. But how realistic is that?
Oh, it's closer than you might think. Imagine this. You're stuck in rush hour traffic. Your heart rate is elevated. And your phone, sensing your stress levels, suggests a quick 5-minute breathing exercise right there through your headphones. That's the kind of personalized support we're talking about.
Wow, that's a really specific example. And it makes this whole concept feel so much more, tangible. It's like your phone becomes this personal coach.
Exactly.
Helping you through all the ups and downs of daily life.
Exactly. And it's just one example. The articles also talk about the huge potential of augmented reality.
Yeah. That's the one that really caught my eye. The article mentions things like virtually trying on clothes or seeing how a new sofa would look in your living room. It sounds super cool.
Yeah.
But is it really going to be a mainstream thing? I mean, how practical is that really?
Well, think about it this way. Instead of driving to a furniture store and trying to picture a sofa in your living room, what if you could use your phone to create an augmented reality version of that sofa right there in your space?
Oh.
You could walk around it, see how it fits with your existing furniture, maybe even get a sense of the fabric's texture.
That would be so helpful. And it would probably save a lot of time and hassle.
Exactly.
But thinking even bigger, this could totally revolutionize entire industries.
Right. Oh, absolutely. Think about architects presenting designs to clients in a fully immersive 3D environment.
Oh, yeah.
Or surgeons using AR overlays during complex procedures. The possibilities really are endless.
That's incredible. But with all this amazing potential, there's got to be a flip side.
Yeah, of course.
This third article we wanted to talk about, it raises some concerns about a future where we become way too reliant on our smartphones. And I have to say, I'm a little skeptical. Is that something we should really be worried about?
Well, I think it's important to acknowledge both sides of the coin with any new technology.
Okay, sure.
I mean, on one hand, smartphones offer incredible convenience and connectivity.
Right.
But yeah, if we become too dependent on them, it could lead to problems like addiction, a decline in real-world interactions.
Yeah, I can see that.
It's like anything else. Moderation is key.
Right. But these concerns, they go deeper than just personal use, right?
Absolutely. The articles also highlight concerns about things like data privacy, the digital divide, and the impact of AI on the job market.
Mm.
These are big issues,
Yeah.
complicated issues, no easy answers.
Yeah, you're not kidding.
But by talking about them openly and honestly, I think we can start working toward solutions that ensure a future where technology benefits everyone, not just a select few.
Okay, that's a good point.
Yeah, it really is a balancing act, finding that sweet spot where we can harness all this incredible power of technology, but also, keep an eye on the potential risks. And that's why it's so important to be having these conversations now.
Right. Yeah, totally. It's a lot easier to course correct early on than to wait till things have, already gone off the rails.
Absolutely.
But let's maybe shift gears a little bit and talk about some of the actual hardware advancements that these articles mentioned.
Sure.
One that really stuck out to me was solid state batteries.
Okay.
The article claims they could last for weeks on a single charge. Weeks.
Wow.
Is that even possible?
It is. Solid-state batteries are kind of a game changer when it comes to battery technology. Imagine charging your phone once a month.
Oh my gosh.
Or even less.
That would be amazing. No more hunting for outlets or panicking when your battery gets low.
Right, exactly. It could totally change how we think about power sources in general.
But wouldn't that require a massive redesign of our current devices?
Not necessarily. Solid-state batteries can actually be designed to fit into existing form factors.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so they could potentially be integrated into future smartphones without, needing to drastically change their size or shape.
So I could actually see this technology pretty soon.
Yeah, it's definitely on the horizon.
Okay, that's exciting. The articles also talked about advancements in wireless charging, which I kind of have mixed feelings about.
Really? How come?
Well, I use a wireless charger now,
Okay.
but it's still kind of finicky, You have to perfectly align it on the pad.
Right.
And sometimes it doesn't even connect. It seems like the future of wireless charging is all about seamless integration and power, but is that realistic?
Well, imagine a world where you could just place your phone on any surface and it starts charging automatically.
Whoa.
No more Babels, no more hunting for compatible charging pads.
Okay, that does sound incredibly convenient, but doesn't that make us even more tethered to our devices? I mean, would we ever truly unplug if we could charge anywhere, anytime?
That's a great point. And it kind of circles back to what we were discussing earlier about, over-reliance on technology. It's all about making sure that these advancements are enhancing our lives, not dictating them.
Right. Okay, let's move on to something else that really caught my eye.
Okay.
Emotion sensing phones. Is that really going to be a thing? I mean, it sounds kind of creepy, to be honest.
It might sound a bit far-fetched, but AI is getting really good at recognizing and interpreting human emotions.
Oh, wow.
It can pick up on subtle cues in our facial expressions, voice tone, even our typing patterns.
Serious?
Yeah. So our devices could potentially gain a much deeper understanding of how we're feeling.
Okay, so let's say that is possible. What are the implications of a device that can, read our emotions and respond accordingly? Is that something we should be embracing or be, cautious about?
It's a tough question. I think there are potential benefits and drawbacks.
Yeah.
On the one hand, an emotion-aware phone could offer some really amazing support.
Yeah.
Helping us manage stress, improve our well-being, connect us with resources when we need them.
Joe, it could be like having a therapist in your pocket.
In a way, yeah. But like we talked about earlier, there's always the other side of the coin. What about privacy? What happens when our devices are constantly tracking and analyzing our emotions? And how do we prevent this technology from being used to manipulate or exploit people?
Yeah, those are good points.
These are all things we need to think about very carefully as this technology evolves.
Okay, absolutely. Finding that balance, right? Innovation and responsibility.
Exactly.
Speaking of innovation, the articles also mentioned some cool developments in display technology.
Oh, yeah.
I was particularly intrigued by the idea of combining OLED and e-ink displays.
Interesting.
So you get the best of both worlds. The vibrant colors and high contrast of OLED for watching videos and stuff.
Right.
But also the paper-like readability and low power consumption of e-ink for reading and, everyday tasks.
That's a cool concept. I love my e-reader. It's so easy on the eyes.
Me too.
But sometimes, I miss those bright, vivid colors. Having both options in one device would be pretty awesome.
Right. Do you think that's something we could realistically see in the next generation of smartphones?
It's definitely possible. We've already seen foldable phones and dual-screen devices.
Right.
So incorporating multiple display technologies into one device. Yeah, I don't think that's too far-fetched.
It seems like the future of smartphones is all about adaptability. Devices that can seamlessly transition between different modes, functions, even emotional states.
Yeah. It's about creating devices that are as versatile and dynamic as we are. I mean, think about it. We live in a world of constant change and adaptation. Our technology needs to be able to keep up.
That's a good point. But this level of integration, it raises some big questions about control and ownership.
Hmm.
If our smartphones become so deeply intertwined with our lives, who's really in charge?
It's a crucial question. As our devices become more powerful and personalized, we have to make sure that we retain control over our data, our privacy, our digital identities. The future of technology should empower individuals, not diminish their autonomy.
Okay, I think we've covered a lot of ground here. From AI and augmented reality to emotion sensing capabilities and revolutionary battery tech. It's clear that the future of smartphones is full of potential, but also some serious challenges. So, where do we go from here? How do we make sure all these advancements actually lead to a better future for everyone?
Well, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? These articles you share, they give us a glimpse of what's possible. But ultimately, it's the choices we make today that will shape the future of technology.
So it's not just about the engineers and developers, it's about all of us, consumers, policymakers, educators, everyone.
Yeah, exactly. We all have a role to play.
But how can we as individuals make a difference? It feels kind of overwhelming, like one person can't really change the course of, this massive technological wave that's coming.
It all starts with awareness. By understanding the potential benefits and risks of new technologies, we can start making more informed choices about how we use them, what data we share, which companies we support.
So it's about being informed consumers and responsible digital citizens.
Exactly. And engaging in conversations like this one, asking tough questions, demanding transparency from the people who are developing these technologies. That's how we can help ensure that they're being used ethically and responsibly.
It feels like we've, I don't know, just dipped our toes in the water with this topic. There's just so much to think about when it comes to the future of our smartphones.
I know, right?
Yeah.
And what's really cool about this deep dive is that it hasn't just been about specs and features and stuff. We've actually talked about how these advancements could really change our world.
Yeah.
And what role we all play in shaping that future.
Absolutely. We talked about the mind-blowing possibilities of AI, augmented reality, crazy fast internet speeds, hardware that seems like it's straight out of a sci-fi movie. But we also, had those tougher conversations about the potential downsides, the ethical stuff, the importance of, making sure this technology is developed and used responsibly.
Yeah, and through all of that, I think the biggest takeaway for me is that we actually have agency. We're not just along for the ride. We have the power to influence where this whole thing goes, steer it towards a future that, benefits everyone.
So it's not about if these technologies are going to change our lives, it's about how. Right, do we want a future where technology just makes existing inequalities worse? Or one where it actually creates opportunities for everyone? A future of isolation or connection? It really is up to us.
Yeah, 100%. And I think informed consumers and engaged citizens are really the key to making the right choices. By questioning things, doing research, demanding transparency from the companies who are developing these technologies, we can help make sure they're used ethically and responsibly.
That makes me think about something I was mulling over while I was reading these articles. What if instead of thinking about technology as this separate thing, we started seeing it as, I don't know, an extension of ourselves, of our human potential?
That's a really interesting way to look at it. Instead of fearing the future, we could embrace the possibility that technology, when used the right way, could actually help us become more connected, more creative, more compassionate, and ultimately, I think, more human.
I love that. So to our listener, we encourage you to keep exploring these ideas. Keep having those thoughtful conversations about the role technology plays in our lives. And most importantly, make informed choices that shape a future you can believe in.
Remember, the future of your smartphone is, in a lot of ways, the future of humanity. And that future, it's in your hands.
Thanks for joining us on The Deep Drive.